What do I want to do next? Well, you took away my thing, Jason.
Oh, the time key card?
Yeah.
If you don't got an idea immediately, right?
Well, I got something popping into my
go
head.
for it.
Like the fact that you can, well, about the fact that you don't get to choose your planets. That's something that's sweet. That's that's good.
Random planets. You like it?
I do. It took me a minute to think about it, but overall, I think that is for the best.
I mean, sure, there's some planets you like to have, and I'm sure, like, if you're a Starcraft game player, you're just like, oh my gosh, I want this planet because I've seen this planet so many times.
Some of them are in the game.
But since I'm not like that, then
okay.
I have no clue,
I'm trying to think if I like it or not. This is tough, and I never really thought about it. I'm gonna go say sure, why not? I like it.
Okay.
Crap monkeys, wrong button again.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. And one thing I like about the planets, well, Jason,
show a different planet. That's a scorekeeping planet.
Yeah, scorekeeping planet.
Show this one.
Okay. I just need a planet without a side.
Okay.
Just explain about how the planets get.
Okay, how it started out?
Yeah.
So how it works is at the start of the game, there's 12 planets. So the number of planets you use is twice the number of players. So in this case, we had 6 planets set up here. And you randomly determine what planet you get, because you have little tokens that have every planet's name on it. And you basically draw them out, and then you basically set up, then how you set up the galaxies, you take turns, place down a planet, and if you got to place it down next to another planet, and basically you got to connect it to it. So you make little pathways between the planets. So that's how basically you go one person at a time until everyone's placed down all their planets.
And one option I liked about these planets was the fact that they're on both sides. Like if you don't want to face a planet in this direction, you can face it in this direction, so the other person can't connect it to his planet. Because
not all show this guy up here. Not all 4 sides of the planet have a little connection where you can actually connect another pathway to it. So that's a really cool whole strategy of setting that.
So there's both sides to it too,
as
well. So you can flip it around if you don't like the side that it's on.
Oh, you're right.
Strategically, that can help in the game.
Does it change anything?
Not really.
Yeah, it changes
not
a little bit.
It's a little. The planet looks a little bit different because it's like this side connects here, this side connects here, but strategically it's
no. It worked for me in the first time I played because I looked at it, I flipped it around, and it caused me I think it was you, Jason, for not to connect to my planet right next to yours.
Yeah, So I mean,
I guess,
you can screw yourself over by setting the planets up wrong, like I did the first game. Like the way I set up my home planet in the first game
by itself.
Well, it wasn't by itself. The only 2 planets it connected to were their 2 home planets. So the only thing I could do was go to war right off the bat, and that's really gonna get you screwed over in this game. And that's why I ended up losing.
Even though you were Zerg, you were thinking, "Oh, I'm Zerg. I can rush to their planets and kill."
Yeah, it didn't work quite as well as I thought it would be.
Well, you were annihilating me pretty good because I'm like, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Now, let's see. Do you want to add anything to that? So I want to talk a little about is this Starcraft or not.
I mean, it's nice, and I mean, I wish that some of these plants would, specifically go maybe they had specifically certain set planets that could go to certain set groups.
Yeah.
Maybe each one
has or Jim Raynor would get his planet or whatever it is.
Each one has 5 specific plants, maybe 6 specific plants that they can randomly choose from each group, and you can pick 2 of them, and then that's what you have for those plants.
Yeah, because it's kind of funny, in terms of the Starcraft universe, the fact that the Zerg can start taking over a planet that is
Tarsonis?
Well, not Tarsonis, but just a planet that they wouldn't normally have in the Starcraft universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Marsara was one of the human planets, but yeah. But
that was taken over, I think.
Oh, was it? Okay. I don't remember.
It was
I don't remember the story, but yeah. So it just be kind of odd from the story perspective. Okay, so take your cards back, and your turn to go, Kyle.
Well, let me see. I would like to go on about the one thing that
holy crap.
What's that?
We're going on a long show already.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we're okay. Well,
we've already been going
like
almost 40
minutes.
We might have to go into the second show, but all right, go.
I would like to go on the detail of the figures. Unfortunately, this is where one of the other downsides that I have complained about. I mean, for $80, they need to have a little bit better, detail. I mean, sure, they got the basic,
No, I'm going against you.
How much did it cost?
$80.
for $80.
I have to say for all of this, I thought it'd be more.
So so I'm going against you too. So okay, Cal. 3 minutes. Start talking.
I just felt that hey, it had some nice details. It looks pretty similar to the game, but
yeah, they do
I believe hey, it could have maybe a little bit more than just the basic blue, orange, and green. You would have your blue color, but it would be have a better paint job of just like how it look in Starcraft. And hey, maybe I'm expecting too much.
Yeah, you're expecting too much.
This is a good game.
What you're trying to do for $80 is that just doesn't happen.
I would understand how the figures would be if maybe this board game cost maybe like $120. Then the piece is probably
I don't play too many
better.
board games,
but like compared to Warhammer 40K, granted these pieces aren't as detailed as Warhammer 40K, but for $80 you get like 30 figures. And that's it. Or for $80 you get 2 friggin' tanks. So I mean, the fact you get there's 180 pieces to this, 180 plastic figures to this game.
180?
And I think they're plenty.
180.
Well, we've only had 3 factions out. So we only have half of the pieces that we've played with,
Okay,
most. So I mean, I think even the detail is good enough because they're.
Yeah, even though it's not painted, there is still nice specific detail carved out in the figures. So that makes it somewhat realistic.
And if you wanted to, you could do a decent job of painting some of these figures. I mean, I sometimes might sit here and paint the Zerg up and make them look kind of cool, but I like so.
Okay, I can accept that. I mean, as I said, I think it would be just looking a little bit nicer, between the different factions. Sure, you have a blue color scheme, but maybe have a little different paint job possibly on it. Just make it a little bit more interesting, I thought.
All right, well, you know what? We are getting dang close to the end of this podcast. We have not even got it. Scratch the surface.
I think we'll have to go into a second one.
But I know, Ryan, you have to take off because you're.
Well, yeah, I got like 20 or 25 minutes.
You got 20 minutes?
But I'd like to take 10 minutes to get ready.
Okay, well let's go ahead here. We got 5 more minutes, and we'll dive in for at least all 3 of us go for a little while in another episode here. And then, but I wanted to dive in to finish up one quick email. I got 2 things here. Okay, we'll dive in. We'll do this guy's email because I promised I'd get him on for this episode. I got an email from a guy named Jeffrey Carroll. He actually does another podcast about miniature wargaming, specifically Warhammer Fantasy, which it's technically in the list of the games we talk about. I've only mentioned it once the entire year, so it's kind of more of a Google hit generator. But yeah, he runs this neat little podcast. Listen to it once called Podhammer at podhammer.net. So he talks about tactics, little painting stuff. He has a cool section that calls the Warhammer Wine, which is basically him ranting about why something's wrong with Games Workshop or something like that. But he has a lot of listener feedback questions. People write and ask him different tactics. He's really knowledgeable about all the different a lot of the different armies. So yeah, so check it out at podhammer.net. I'll put a link in the show note to it, so you can
have to take a look at that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. If you like Warhammer Fantasy and some of the more Games Workshop, more complicated stuff, you might like this podcast. So